tí ò lè yan ẹjẹ́ àrànrú wọn lọ́wọ́ káyé ò lè dáa fún gbogbo wa.
Orí mi ò ní ṣe owó wọgbó ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ wọ mi o.
Yọmọ mi kí ló dé?
Mẹ́wàá ń bẹ ọjà ni wọ́n ní wàrà mo ti sanwó àtowó àtẹrù ń orí kankan. Owó wọgbó.
Jìbìtì ló lù ọ̀hún. Jìbìtì ni à ń pè yàn. Irú wọn ti pọ̀ ń gbòòrò báyìí kọ́lọ̀ ń ṣọ́ níbẹ̀ ni. Gbájú ẹ̀ ló kọ wọn. Níjọ́ mi o, ìwọ náà wàá máa ṣọ́ra.
Osogbo to Lagos, from Lagos to Abuja, from Abuja to Enugu. Indeed, in every nook and cranny of Nigeria, OSBC Radio to they're there for you.
For the best in news, sports, music, documentaries, news analysis, and lots more, tune to OSBC Radio 104.5 FM.
Iṣẹ́ lóògùn ìṣẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká fọmọdé ara ṣiṣẹ́, ká má bàa fàgbà ṣiṣẹ́.
You're listening to 104.5 megahertz.
Just like water, we are the indispensable companion.
It's midday from OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Osogbo, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now we bring you the word at night.
Good afternoon, the world at noon. In Nigeria, parties involved in the tribunal charged to allow the will of the people. Most wanted fraud suspect arrested in Nairobi. Italian alleged leader of a criminal network held in Cartagate bribery probe agrees to tell all. A baby found among 6 killed in possible cartel attack in California. The Coalition for Good Governance in Osun State, Southwest Nigeria, is calling on all parties involved in the ongoing election petition tribunal to be cautious and also caution their followers from making statements that could eat the polity. A release by the spokesperson for Coalition for Good Governance, Mr. Adetayo Adigbenle, indicates that an average man of the street is only desirous of good governance and expect the government to lead them into prosperity. It noted that the people of Osun State are industrious and could be seen a number of small and medium-scale industries that operate every day in the state capital and all other major cities in the state. According to the release, it is fiducial and total disregard for the law in Nigeria for anyone to go about boasting that the election result will be upturned, and this will only continue to create unnecessary tension in the state. While everyone awaits the final judgment from the Election Petition Tribunal, it advises that all parties involved should hold their peace and not continue to utter statements that could disrupt the peace of the state. Police have arrested a most wanted man in Nairobi suspected of fraud. In a statement today, police said they intercepted Abdul Ghaffar Abdul Rashid Abe at Wilson Airport while waiting to board a plane to Elwak. Reports indicate that the man is suspected to have defrauded the public millions of shillings and reported at Inchawa police station in Kishe. Morocco's army said it had agreed with Israel to strengthen military cooperation, including in intelligence and cyber security, following defense meetings in Rabat. The Royal Moroccan Armed Forces, in a statement, said the two countries agreed to further strengthen cooperation and expand it to other areas, including intelligence, air defense, and electronic warfare. The announcement follows the first meeting of the Monitoring Committee for Moroccan-Israeli Defense Cooperation in the Moroccan capital. This is the world at noon, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now our midday news message. Be conscious of the need to be more dedicated to your duty this week so as to justify your earnings. An alleged leader of criminal network involved in an EU corruption scandal has agreed to reveal which countries were involved and how it operated. A lawyer from Pier Antonio Panzeri said his client had agreed to tell all after reaching a deal with prosecutors. A former member of the European Parliament is one of the 4 suspects being held in Belgium. They are suspected of accepting bribes from Qatar and Morocco in return for influencing the parliament in Brazil. Qatar has strenuously denied that it tried to gain influence through gifts and money, while Morocco has also strongly rejected allegations that it sought influence on issues such as fishing rights and disputed status of Western Sahara. The regional governor said the helicopter crashed by a nursery and residential building in Ukrainian town of Brovary near Kyiv today, and casualties were confirmed. A police spokesman told newsmen that at least 5 people were hurt and that were also a number of dead. Kyiv region Governor Oleksiy Kuliba wrote on the Telegram messaging app that there were children and staff in the nursery and at the time of tragedy, adding that everyone has now been evacuated. Video shares on social media showed a burning building and people could be heard screaming. It was also immediately clear what caused the helicopter to crash. There was also no immediate comment from the Russia whose troops invaded Ukraine last February, and Ukrainian officials made no reference to any Russian attack in the area at the time. The deputy head of Ukraine's presidential office, Kristolo Tomoshenko, wrote on the Telegraph messaging app that information about casualties and the circumstances is still under investigation. 4 generations of one family have been reportedly killed in what is described as a cartel-like execution at a Californian resident known to police for drug-related activity. Police and family says a 16-year-old mother, a 10-month-old son, and the baby's grandmother and great-grandmother were among the victims. The home in Goshen, population 3,000, had been raided by police last week. Police say they are seeking 2 known suspects in the targeted massacre. In a news conference on Tuesday, Tulare County Sheriff Mike Bodos did not provide the names of the suspects, saying that it was due to the possibility that the killers were watching in order to avoid the capture, but revealed that much was already known to authorities about the tragedy. Police had searched the residence just last week and found statues of marijuana and methamphetamines. Here again are the highlights of the world at noon. The Coalition for Good Government in Osun State, Southwest Nigeria, is calling on all parties involved in the ongoing election petition tribunal to be conscious and also caution their followers from making statements that could heat up the polity. Police have arrested a most wanted man in Nairobi suspected of fraud. We also brought you a report that an alleged leader of a criminal network involved in an EU corruption scandal has agreed to reveal which countries were involved and how it operated. And 4 generations of one family have been reportedly killed in what is described as a cartel-like execution at a California resident known to police for drug-related activities. And that was the World at Noon. It was edited by Temitope Olaiwola and delivered by David Ojo. News Talk today calls on Nigerians to shun the evils of collapsing the country's democratic structure by exposing arsonists attacking the INEC office at local government to make Nigeria a virile democracy.
Country's political climate was shadowing with plume of flames from the ravaging fire that engulfed the INEC office in Enugu, South Local Government, Enugu State last week Monday. The fire was an attack by fully armed arsonists who stormed the local government office of the commission, who shot and killed one of the security men on duty. The arsonists unleashed their terror after destroying the major parts of the building in just few weeks to the national elections. The arsonists have been on rampage of wantonly setting INEC facilities in local government on fire since last year when 2 INEC offices were razed down in Osun and Ogun states. As dastardly as the attacks on the INEC offices in the local governments, no security report has revealed those masquerading as arsonists since the destructive of local electoral body started. It goes without saying that electoral body is so central to midwifery, the democratic government, and any activities aimed at obviating the body from democracy is a direct effort targeted at eroding the democratic governance in a country. This makes it imperative to investigate the possible motive of arsonists of their sponsors for engaging in setting INEC offices ablaze at local governments in the country. As earlier observed, the attacks on INEC offices at this time when the national election is approaching is an ominous to political sovereignty of Nigerians. It is also an invitation to anarchy, as Nigerians would not submit to subtlety and subterfuge by individuals who would want to thwart the entrenched democratic norms to ascend to power in the country. It is opposite to call on Nigerians to shun myopic and ethnic consideration that could make them an agent for truncating the country's democratic structures, being molded together to evolve an enduring democracy. Likewise, it is important for security agencies to transform beyond dogmatic and subservient loyalty to obnoxious individuals whose instruction would make them compromise the ethics of their respective rules of engagement. The democracy is so sacrosanct to building a virile nation and sustainable economy, and it remains the only political system that recognizes the rights of citizens to decide on who rules at a given period. It is for this purpose that News Talk is cautioning individuals in the country to commit to efforts at promoting the country's democracy and never succumb to temptation of cancelling information on any attempt to pulverize the country's democracy. The arsonist attack on INEC officers so far is a machination to cause political chaos, as it is capable of depriving Nigerians from exercising their constitutional rights of enthronement of political leaders within their political enclaves.
Popola was a warning light to Nigerians on the dangers of arsonists putting INEC office in local governments on the fire, and called on Nigerians not to cancel any information that could assist the tracking of the arsonist. The piece was read by Temitope Olaiwola. For more about us, you can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening to the World News. To World at Noon, good afternoon.
You're listening to 104.5 megahertz.
Just like water, we are your indispensable companion.
gbọ́ bó ló ti àárín mọ́dọ́ ọ́fíìsì lánàá ń ọ̀bọ àjókòó ọ̀fẹ́ dé bẹ́ẹ̀ awo ojú rẹ tí mo rí lórí tébù ló fi ń lọ́kàn balẹ̀ pọ̀ lọ jìnnà.
ọ̀nà mi ti jìn wáyé ó mọ̀